What's your Tyler's back with the retro reviews here on Tyler's Retro Reviews with the second to last WrestleMania review for 2026 in WrestleMania 22. I'm not gonna do the Sid line where he freaks out about another car getting destroyed again from that Nitro in '99, which is still fucking hilarious though, but still. The reason why is because I'm exhausted from walking at the Botanical Garden and all that. Took the dogs there and all that, but I'm gonna do this review regardless because fuck it. I don't care if I'm exhausted. Fuck it. Um, WrestleMania 22, and after this next week WrestleMania 23. I mean, it's obvious because I'm doing WrestleManias from after 20. That's 21, 22, and 23. And this is WrestleMania 22. The tagline is big time, and April 2nd, it was a Raw and SmackDown event at the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, I know it's not. They market it as Chicago, so fuck it. It's Chicago. So basically, yeah, WrestleMania 22 also marks the last WrestleMania they held in a traditional arena, as every substitute event has held in the stadium except for WrestleMania 36 because of the pandemic. But we're not gonna talk about that one because, well, it was not in an arena. It was in a training facility. And let's not talk about pandemic wrestling again, okay? But anyways, let's get into this WrestleMania 22. Still not the biggest fan of this WrestleMania. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And yeah, there were some good matches, but I'm like not a fan of these matches still. Anyways, regardless of that, let's get into it. We started with the match for the World Tag Team Championships. Big Show and Kane defeats Carlito and Chris Masters to retain the World Tag Team Championships. This was a fine tag team time match. I'm not gonna lie to you. The best thing about this build is that Carlito Masters, along with what was it, Lance Kane and Trevor Murdoch, trapped Kane in a broom closet or something like that. And the funniest thing about that whole thing is Big Show was pushing a forklift because they put a forklift in it. He's pushing it. He's like, "I'm gonna get you, Kane," and all that. And then here's Kane from behind. "You need some help?" And Big Show's like, "Wait, what?" And then he says, and Kane says, "There's another door back there." What the fuck? But yeah, that was like the best part about this. Anyways, Big Show has finally ended his losing streak at WrestleMania also, and unfortunately they will lose the tag titles the next night to the Spirit Squad, and Kane will go on through that May 19th storyline with Imposter Kane and all that. Oh god. I give it a 5 out of 10, really. And yeah. Anyways, then we get the Money to Make a ladder match. Robin then defeats Bobby Lashley, Finley, Matt Hardy, Ric Flair, and Shelton Benjamin to win the Money to Make a ladder match. And Robin then becomes the second person to win Money to Bank. And we all know where this led to. The famous one night stand moment. And I already mentioned that. It's like, so there's that moment, and we obviously know where that title run will end in. But yeah, Ric Flair, why? Like, he took a superplex off the top rope, and then he was out of the match for a little bit, and then he comes back and didn't win the ladder match. Kind of strange. But they went with RVD, which is the right choice, and honestly, the best choice and all that. Yeah, it was a fun Money Maker ladder match. I give it an 8 out of 10 for that. Um, and yeah, there is that. You know, we obviously know, like I said, Robert Denver would announce his cash in against John Cena for the WWE Championship at 1/1906, which we all obviously know, and we all know where his run unfortunately would end in. But we're not talking about that. We already did. Anyways, next up is for the United States Championship. JBL defeats Chris Benoit to win the United States Championship. This was a forgotten run for JBL as like we don't know about him as WWE champion and all that, but nobody remembers him as the United States Championship, except for that one time he lost to Bobby Lashley and then he had to retire after the first go around and all that. Because, like I said, the 2006 was basically the end of JBL's first run as a wrestler. Yeah, I said first run as a wrestler because you know. Because, DCW rebooted and they had to have somebody take Taz's spot, and JBL was honestly the perfect choice because, let's be honest, he was fucking hilarious in that role, and then by 2008 he's back in the ring and then retired again for real since 2009. Yeah, JBL and Benoit, by the way, did pay tribute to him, but unfortunately they had to do the whole, oh, he's mocking him and all that, but whatever. I get a 6 out of 10. This was an alright match, and alright's all I have to say. Then, best match on the show is the hardcore match. Edge defeats Mick Foley. Not Matt. Edge defeats Mick Foley in this hardcore match. A lot of people, said they should have Edge coming as the championship and all that. Then again, WrestleMania 24's main event didn't not happen because of it, but still. Edge says he blames Mick Foley for his loss in the rematch against Cena and all that. And then this led to this match here. Still great hardcore match. Foley took a page out of Bret Hart's playbook and high barbed wire. Well, not steel plate, barbed wire to so Edge just did the spear on him, but it affected Edge and not Mick Foley all that. They were thumbtacks involved. And it's kind of funny because in the new game, WWE 26, it came out like a month ago now. Thumbtacks came back in that game, and came in rather, 2K game that is. And then the most part is the finish. Edge speared Mick Foley through a flaming table to win the match. And yeah, this did help fight Edge, even though he already won the exchange with New Year's Revolution, but whatever. 9.5 out of 10 I'll give this match. Crazy and all of that. And unfortunately, we had to have something to calm down the fans, and they had to do the Boogeyman defeating Booker T and all that. I mean, it was a handicap match, technically, but seriously, what the fuck was this? Way to a Booker T match for WrestleMania and all that. A 0. It was... The second half of it was kind of rough, honestly. I'm just the only thing good about it was the pre-match when Booker T made it with Pirate Paul Burchill. Yeah, because they were trying to like copy Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, which I already on my main channel did that already. So all of it, Snitsky and then Goldust and all that, and then Ted DiBiase was making Eugene do like a stuff with the basketballs and all that. That was like literally the best part about that. That was that, but the wrestling part of it, I feel bad for Booker T, honestly. Well, no one as bad as him finding Ahmed Johnson for the rights to the letter T in WWE. Oh, God! And I had to sit through that all over again. On this channel, at least. Anyways. Now we get for the women's championship. Mickie James defeats Trish Stratus, and people saying, well, at the time saying this was like the best one-on-one. I would say one-on-one women's matches in WrestleMania history. Well, Charlotte Flair and Asuka beat this because of it, but first off, it went 8 minutes. Way, way too short for a big match like this. That's my first issue about this. There were 2 things that were cut during this match. One, when I can't believe Mickie James did this. Raz Trish by the, but that part, like, does the tongue with the V thing, yeah, cut from the DVD release when this, and then later the network / Netflix version, all that. There's another thing that got cut, which I don't know what it was, but yeah. And yeah, that Mickie James won the match and ends Trish's year-long title run and all that. But boy, it's gonna be a little bit of a controversial decision, but I give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, there's that. Anyways. Then we get a casket match. Undertaker defeats Mark Henry. Unfortunately, this feud didn't have a proper conclusion because the following episode of SmackDown, that's where we got the introduction of the Great Khali, and Undertaker's business went to the Great Khali. And also the night after, we saw the debut of Umaga also on Raw, so there's that. I mean, this was a decent casket match. My biggest issue is Mark Henry trying to pin Undertaker in a casket match. Why the fuck does Undertaker's opponents in a casket matches or buried alive matches have to pin him? They know the fucking objective is. But yeah, Undertaker won, was obvious. He went to 14-0 at WrestleMania, and yeah, it was a fine casket match, a 6 out of 10, but this is the best you can do with Undertaker at WrestleMania. Nothing against Mark Henry, he's great all, but this is the fucking Undertaker we're dealing with. At least next week we're going to have Tim fight Batista and all that. Yeah, next week, because you know. Anyways, then we get a no-holds-barred match. Shawn Michaels defeats Mr. McMahon, and of course we get the post-wrestling stuff with the whole golf thing, which, what the fuck was Vince on in 2006? That's all I have to say, really. Vince introduced his own, like, whole thing of the whole Mega Magazine or whatever it is, Shawn grabs this thing and Jim Ross says, yeah, him in the head with it. Shawn didn't hit, and he said, and then shut up his ass. Honestly, the best thing about it was Jim Ross and all that. And then when they tried to do the kiss my ass club thing again, like, oh god, that. Shawn reversed it. He grabbed Shane and put him into Vince's ass. And and Jim Ross again saying, Shane's face is on Vince's crack or something like that. Or Shane's face is buried underneath Vince's head or something like that. Or whatever. Shawn grabs the ladder, hits Vince, and it. Jim Ross says, welcome to Home Depot. What the Also, that chair shuts the head. Every time I see a chair shut the head, it's very uncomfortable to look at. And there's a reason why we don't see those anymore in today's wrestling. Then Shawn grabs a gigantic fucking ladder. Plus Shane came in also, and the Spears got involved also, but they were useless. And again, the next night, they win the World Tag Team Championships. What the fuck, man? Shawn does the DX Suck It thing, which is kind of a foreshadowing right there, and then Shawn just won by giving him sweet shit music and all that. I can't give... And then afterwards, when Vince gets on the stretcher and all that, he gives him the middle finger, just like he did the Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 19. And Jim Ross says, Satan lives. As Jim Ross also said. You know, with Jim Ross' commentary in this match, Shawn beating the piss out of Vince McMahon, 8 out of 10 will give this whole thing. It was fucking... I couldn't stop laughing at Jim Ross all the way through. Like... Okay. Final 3 matches. For a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, Rey Mysterio defeats Kurt Angle and Randy Orton to win the World Heavyweight Championship. You know how I said in the Mickey Trish match should have got more time? This is your SmackDown main event. And this match got 9 fucking minutes. Are you fucking serious? 9 minutes? Like, get to, 12 or something like that. No, 9.5 minutes. Like, couldn't you, cut the next match in it and give them more time? And also, on popular opinion, I think this should have been the closing match instead of the actual main event, which we'll get to, but seriously, what the fuck? Some good action in it, Ray and Orton distract referee Charles Robinson and all that. Ray just grabs Charles Robinson and makes sure he doesn't say, no, this doesn't count as the Robinson bump, by the way. He has to be, fully get beat. He has to get fully bumped to coin that whole phrase. All that. Ray won with a 619 and he becomes the World Heavyweight Championship. But the only, like I said, 7.5 out of 10 for the match and all that, but the only reason why Ray won the world title is because Eddie Guerrero passed away back in November. And this run, unfortunately, was kind of a letdown also. And we don't know where this one will end happening. Great American Bash 10-6. All hell came Booker. yeah. I mean, but also, I don't think Randy Orton should be in this match. Here's why. I don't think Cody and Orton this year should be for the WWE Championship, but I'll probably say it for tomorrow for my SmackDown review. So, yeah. And then you follow with a pillow fight match. Tori Wilson defeats Candice Michelle. Shouldn't this match be, oh, I don't know, cut from the pay-per-view? Like, you don't need this on the card. I'm just being honest here. I don't get it, really. I get a 1. And there's that. Finally, we get the main event for the WWE Championship. John Cena defeats Triple H by submission to retain the WWE Championship. Funnily enough, Triple H is in the main event of 3 straight WrestleManias. 20, 21, and 22. All losses. 20 was, he lost to Chris Benoit. 21, last week we did. He lost to Batista. 22, he lost to John Cena twice. 2 times by submission. This was an okay main event. It's probably the most overrated WrestleMania main events ever. And there's a lot of them. I'm not going to mention right here, but John Cena had this, like, gangster-like entrance because we're in Chicago. Funny enough, one of those monsters was CM Punk. And he did mention it in when Punk said it was his first WrestleMania experience. Funny enough, the following year, he would wrestle at WrestleMania. And 1 year ago, he main evented WrestleMania for the first time, finally. Gonna be another one this year. But I don't know, man. John Cena and Triple H never click well together. No pun intended from Triple H, that is, because of, the crowd was cheering Triple H and booing John Cena and all that. But John Cena won. There's that. There was supposed to be a rematch at WrestleMania 23, but we obviously know what happened in New Year's Revolution 2007. Triple H got injured, and they went with Shawn Michaels instead. I give it a 5.5 out of 10 again. And yeah, that's probably the generous way of saying this. But yeah, it was not the best I've seen. So your world champions at the end of it were Rey Mysterio and John Cena. And that's WrestleMania 22. Yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10. I mean, only because the hardcore match was good. But then afterwards, the rest was kind of there. That's the best way I can say about it, really. Hey, some people actually like this WrestleMania. That's fine, but not my favorite WrestleMania of all. Like I said, 20 was like the last one. But anyways, next week is WrestleMania 23. Yeah, that's next week. And finally conclude the WrestleMania reviews this year. So I'll see you for that, and subscribe to my main channel, and you'll see other videos on there. And like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel notification bell, and there. Bye-bye.